599-5555. Number one, when you go back to the controversy last year, and it was about a year ago that Phil Cortez was suddenly called away to serve his country, although it later turned out he really wasn't. He requested the training assignment as part of his reserve duties, but he leaves town for a while, and he recommends to the city council and to the mayor that his then fiancée be the interim member of city council, and she's got this sort of checkered record. Some people like her, some people don't. She's worked for I think 3 or 4 different members of council. It didn't end well with a couple of them. I know Mary Alice Cisneros was saying some not so great things about her when she worked for her. And so he recommends his fiancée, and people are all up in arms. If you remember, it was a big topic on talk radio, and who do they think they are, and nepotism. I remember very distinctly, and it's captured in this Gilbert Garcia article from a year ago, that the deal was, the understanding was that Leticia Cantu was only temporary, and that Phil Cortez would come back, reclaim the seat, finish up his final term. I don't think that the council would have approved her if they knew that she was using that as a launching pad to replace her husband. I have nothing against married people working together, but look, they don't own that seat. It's the people's seat. And conspiring to keep it in the family is not right. I had people say to me at the time, you watch, she'll run for that thing. I didn't know. But the understanding that was left, the impression that was left with everyone was that she would not, and now she's saying, oh no, you had it all wrong, I never said that. I don't know if she said it or not, but that was the impression that was left. And certainly, if that was not her intention, certainly the media coverage suggested it, so maybe she should have corrected that and said, well, you know, I haven't made a decision, or I'm leaving the door open, but that wasn't the case. And then I also noticed with Rey Saldana that he had a couple of opportunities, that issue being one of them, to draw a difference or make a distinction between Leticia Cantu and he, and he really didn't do it. You know, if your opponent gives you an opening, you have to take it. So my sense is that she's really a street fighter, and she's, you know, going to go after this thing, and he seems like a very nice guy who doesn't know that in order to defeat her, he's going to have to play that game. And I'm not saying, by the way, that you can't talk about the issues or be a positive candidate or you know, have a plan. But when you have an opponent like this who gives you all these openings, people expect you to take them. And if you don't, a lot of the vote goes to people who seem to want it. And I think of the 3, she looked like the one that seems to really want it. That was what I noticed. Tell me what you noticed. 599-5555. You can also email me, jack@ktsa.com.
Okay. So I think that went really well.
I think it went really. I wish we had more time to talk to them about it.
Absolutely.
I could talk about District 4 for days.
Absolutely. Ray is so like nervous with the radio thing, but he did really well.
He's only what, 24?
He's 24 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Very young. So
Yeah.
we had a big range in the candidates' ages, 24 up to I think 68 is Kathy.
I believe so. I
Yeah,
believe
right,
so. I believe so.
Exactly. And Leticia right there in the middle of the juicy.
Right there in the middle with all with all that experience too.
So what question did you want to ask that you did not get to ask?
Well, I wanted to ask, Kathy Luna made a comment at one of the public forums that she thinks it might be a good idea to consolidate the school districts. And she said she might get shot at Dawn for saying something like that.
Right.
And I wanted to know if she had any allies in that idea, in that, you know, to do that.
Right, is it something she's hearing from the community, or is it just something that she's come across herself?
And actually, speaking of the community, I was also interested and didn't get a chance to ask what the candidates have been hearing from their district about where they might want to spend the money that may come from that 2012 bond that's coming up. Where is that money proposed, to be spent? What are they hearing from people? What are the needs? And that's something that I think everybody might have a different answer for.
Yeah, that's very good. I had 2 questions on my wish list too. One of them was that Rey Saldana has said before in forums when people raise the issue of stray dogs, which seems to be a kind of a citywide problem. It's happening in all sorts of districts. That despite the fact that we've expanded our shelter space, despite the fact that there are some spay-neuter programs in place, that there are just a lot of stray dogs. They propose a health and danger issue a lot of times, and it's also
Absolutely.
just tragic to see them underfed.
And nobody wants to
sick
hear
on the
those
streets.
stories. Nobody wants to hear those
Right,
stories.
exactly. But he has said that District 2, where they have made an effort to really pick up a lot of stray dogs as part of their East Side initiative, is a success story. And I live over there, and it is still a problem. So, my question would be, what do? We keep throwing resources at it. Is there some sort of solution in the future to really become a no-kill city?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, and I don't want to seem like we're just picking on Leticia a lot, but
Although it just keeps coming up.
One of the things we talk about at PLAZA De Armas TX.com is that she sometimes accompanies her then fiance, now husband, to District 4 events that are paid for with District 4 money for seniors, and then is essentially able to campaign there. Now, according to the Texas Ethics Commission, if she's not handing out materials, my understanding is it's all right. She can talk. Talking isn't broadcasting, but that's
And
the
talking in this
advantage.
form seemed to be speaking, which was a speech, which can be a campaign speech. So that raises a lot of questions, and
Yeah.
has us looking in books as to what else is going on. Also wanted to ask about, she's worked for many city councilmen in the past. The Express News reported that she was fired from Mary Alice Cisneros' office and escorted out, I believe. Is that correct? Is that correct?
They usually don't let you pack your own stuff, I think, when you're asked to leave.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I didn't know
that's
that.
kinda how that goes, yeah.
Right. So I wanted to ask her about that, because at some public forums she said she,
Respectfully resigned. is the
respectfully
phrase.
resigned is the phrase, and just ask straight out, what the deal was. We want to know.
Exactly. So if you too are a political junkie, can't get enough of this stuff, care very much about what's happening in your district and with the upcoming council races, join us at PLAZADeArmasTX.com any day of the week.